Jenna Hager, co-host of Today with Jenna and Friends, has found herself at the center of an amusing pop culture moment after voicing a lighthearted gripe about Taylor Swift's penchant for announcing new projects at midnight. The comment came during the August 12, 2025 episode of The Morning Show, sparking smiles rather than any serious celebrity feud. The exchange began when Jenna and guest host Erin Andrews turned their attention to Swift's surprise revelation of her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. True to form, Swift had unveiled the album's title and release details in the dead of night, setting off an explosion of fan chatter across social media. For many devoted Swifties, this midnight ritual has become part of the excitement. A moment to stay awake, count down the minutes, and be the first to hear the news. For Jenna, however, the timing presented a dilemma. Known for her early morning work schedule and love of starting the day ahead of the news cycle, she jokingly lamented the fact that the announcement came when she was fast asleep. "You know I'm a Swiftie, but why does she have to drop everything at midnight?" Jenna quipped, drawing a laugh from her co-host. The remark was less a critique than a sigh from someone whose lifestyle is, by necessity, on the opposite end of the clock from the pop star's release strategy. Andrews, ever ready to defend a beloved pop tradition, smiled and replied, "It's her thing. It's too late for you." The gentle ribbing underscored the generational and lifestyle divide between artists who thrive on the buzz of late-night drops and audiences who might prefer their big news to arrive alongside their first cup of coffee. Jenna, conceding the point, nodded with a grin and said, "No, I get it. I get it." The moment could have ended there, a quick, friendly exchange, but it opened a door to a larger conversation about Swift's cultural influence and the way her release strategies have shaped modern fan engagement. Midnight drops, once a rarity, are now a staple in the pop industry. They build anticipation in a way that aligns perfectly with the streaming era, where fans from Los Angeles to London can hit play simultaneously. For early risers like Jenna, though, this means waking up to find an avalanche of news already flooding timelines, group chats, and entertainment headlines. In an era when being first to the conversation is almost as valuable as having the conversation itself, missing that initial wave can feel like being left out of an inside joke. Jenna's remarks resonated with plenty of viewers who, despite loving Swift's work, share the frustration of learning about a major pop culture moment hours after it happened. The discussion soon expanded beyond the album to another headline-making announcement: Taylor Swift's upcoming appearance on New Heights, the podcast hosted by Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce and his brother, Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelce. The podcast episode was scheduled to drop the very next day, and fans were already buzzing with speculation about what Swift might reveal. The pairing of Swift and Travis Kelce has fueled countless headlines over the past year, with their relationship offering a rare blend of sports and pop culture intrigue. "They are so fun to be around," Andrews said of Swift and the Kelces. "I'm so excited for this podcast to drop tomorrow." Jenna, clearly intrigued by the crossover, playfully added, "What do you think about the fact that she announced it on his podcast?" The comment captured another layer of Swift's media savvy, her ability to blur the lines between personal relationships and professional projects, creating content that feels both intimate and headline-worthy. It's worth noting that despite the flurry of online chatter, there is no evidence that Jenna's comments were meant as anything more than affectionate teasing. Headlines like Jenna Hager complains on Today about Taylor Swift announcing her album at midnight from Decider were careful to preserve the playful tone. No credible reports suggest actual animosity between the morning show host and the pop icon. In fact, Jenna has been open about her admiration for Swift, identifying as a proud Swiftie and regularly celebrating her achievements on air. The dynamic between Swift's release strategies and the lifestyles of her fans is an interesting study in how the music industry has evolved. In the pre-streaming era, album releases were often tethered to fixed retail schedules, with fans waiting in line outside record stores or tuning in to radio premieres. The shift to digital platforms allowed artists to choose their own release times, and for many, midnight became the magic hour. It's a strategy that capitalizes on the immediacy of social media. Fans react in real time, hashtags trend globally, and the news cycle is dominated by the artist for hours to come. For Swift, the midnight drop has become something of a signature move. From 1989 to Midnights and now The Life of a Showgirl, She has cultivated a fan culture that treats the early morning hours as a sacred space for shared discovery. For night owls, insomniacs, and fans willing to sacrifice a little sleep, the payoff is being part of the moment as it happens. For those like Jenna, who operate on an early bird schedule, it can feel like arriving at a party after the best stories have already been told. Still, the beauty of Swift's approach is its inclusivity. Whether you're awake at midnight or catching up over breakfast, the music and the conversation are waiting for you. Jenna's comments, far from criticizing the artist, highlight the universal fan experience of wanting to be part of the excitement as it unfolds. The light-hearted exchange also speaks to a broader truth about fandom in the digital age. It's no longer enough to simply consume the art. Many fans want to participate in the cultural moment surrounding its release. That desire for connection, to be in sync with millions of others experiencing something for the first time, drives the appeal of events like midnight drops, surprise announcements, and exclusive podcast appearances. From a strategic standpoint, Swift's decision to announce her album title at midnight, followed by a high-profile podcast appearance, is a masterclass in staggered publicity. The midnight reveal dominates early headlines and social media chatter, while the podcast appearance extends the buzz into the following news cycle. It's a one-two punch that ensures her name and her work stay at the forefront of public conversation for days. For Jenna Hager, the takeaway was simple. As much as she loves Swift's artistry, she'd appreciate a slightly earlier start time. For Swift's team, however, the formula is working exactly as intended. Fans are engaged, media outlets are covering every angle, and the sense of shared anticipation remains high. If anything, the episode offered a charming reminder that even high-profile television hosts experience pop culture much the same way the rest of us do. They juggle personal routines with public interests, navigate the rapid-fire pace of online news, and occasionally find themselves playfully at odds with the traditions of the artists they admire. By the end of the segment, any hint of unhappiness had dissolved into laughter and mutual excitement for the music to come. Jenna's grin, paired with Andrew's defense of the midnight drop, painted a picture of two friends swapping good-natured jabs about a shared interest.